such dangers. They will always be under danger.
Where do we go? I mean, who takes responsibility of a child in school? Who takes the responsibility? We can't follow our kids here.
This is absolutely ridiculous. How can our legal system allow this? How can these kind of terms and conditions be imposed on parents who have to sign this just to get their sons and daughters admitted into a good school? I'm aghast.
Now I will ensure that I will sit here and till the time they complete their training and all the sports thing, I will not leave them. So the trust has gone.
Right from the ayah to the guards, please do a background verification of these people, who they are, where they are, what they did in their past. You know, we need that stuff.
So we are being taken for granted. There is no accountability. So as all know that this has become a business.
We have 2 class teachers per classroom, right? And 25 kids or so. And if 2 class teachers can't take care of 25 kids, I mean, shame on the school. And you have to be responsible for these children all the time. I mean, why not?
Well, the case of sexual assault against the Class 1 student of Vibgyor International School has certainly brought to light the growing number of crimes against children in the country. Whether it is the security guard of a government high school in New Delhi who raped a minor, or the uncle and aunt duo who kidnapped their niece only to murder her in broad daylight over a family dispute. It seems like there are very few places in the country where a child can go to without the threat of being harmed. We spoke to Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw about this incident and her take on these depraved crimes.
Well, you know, the moral fabric of our society is in tatters. And I think it's very shameful, it's very sad. And I think unless we really do something, you know, about society at a very fundamental level, I don't think anything is going to change. So I think this is something that has to be tackled right at the root of the cause of this kind of issue, which is really about parents themselves. Parents and teachers need to really play a role in correcting this societal malaise.
And coming to these incidents increasingly happening in schools, these were places once considered sacrosanct for the security they provided. So what kind of measures can schools themselves take for this?
Well, you know, I think apart from taking measures, I think there's something wrong with society that we have such sick people and sick minds indulging in such heinous crimes against children, women, you name it. So I think it is something that we need to do in a very, very basic way. There is something wrong in the way we educate our kids. Parents need to take responsibility. Teachers need to take responsibility. You know, at home and at school and at colleges, I think every one of these people who can influence young minds in the right direction must play that role.
In the light of these incidents, there was a minister who had commented about banning sex education in schools. What kind of message does this send out to the people about the government and their policies in such a situation?
Well, it just goes to show how poor the political understanding of these issues is and what irresponsible statements are being made by politicians on these kind of issues. So I think unless there is a political will to really address these issues seriously and not kind of brush them off as saying that, you know, these are incidents which are happening for various frivolous reasons which are being given by politicians, or making irresponsible comments such as what you just mentioned. I think, you know, we have to really look at this in a much more serious way. There has to be political will. And this political will has to emanate from politicians making responsible statements, and more than statements, they need to act.
Well, that was Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw saying that political will is the only way to stop such crimes against children. I'm here with a couple of residents of an upmarket apartment in Bangalore. Let's hear what they have to say about this issue. So, schools are probably the last place where you expect something like this to happen and harm your child. So, do you feel that schools are just not safe anymore?
Of course, it's not safe anymore. Because they are now presently they are asking us to sign a letter that they are not responsible for any incident happen. How is it possible? Because we are sending on their behalf. You know, it's the teachers, it's the school responsible for them until they are in the school inside, until they are inside the gate.
Sir, your child studies in an international school here. What is your take on this entire situation?
Okay, so I really want to pass a strong message. We demand action against the culprits, number one, and we want a kind of fast track court to take action to this kind of incidents. The primarily what we want to say for the management side, we really expect support from the management. Why they are trying to prevent or protect the school name? That is not the case here. They have to stand by the people. They have to stand by the parents. Support this kind of incident. The girl was put in the dark room. It's a clear message. In Times of India today, we could see that the whole incident episode was revealed. Girl was put into the dark room for 1 hour, and she was treated by a doctor. And the chairman is coming and passing a message. He's not even aware of the entire episode. This is not at all acceptable. No, we need justice. We need justice in the manner we want it. And there are so many other bodies in the government. We have Child Protection Act. We do have, Women Welfare Association. We have human rights. Why not everybody join together and fight for this support?
So, talking about justice, who should really be responsible for such a situation? Is it the schools? Is it the government? Who?
I feel both should be responsible on this, because schools are responsible for their things they put inside. I mean, their staff, their teachers, and their all those things. And the government, I would held more, because the culprits are free only because they feel that they can do anything. Why? Because what is going to happen? A case will go on for years and all. So there should be at least a fast track court which can solve the case immediately, and the culprits should have at least be hanged or something very harsh that they are fear of. If there are no fear in them, they will definitely keep on doing this, and it is going to go on.
So you have something more to add to this?
Yeah, I'll agree with that. The school is equally responsible, so is the government. But as parents now it is our responsibility to make sure that it happens, and we'll not put our voice down. This should come to an end. We will make sure that these things happen. The government and the school needs to come forward and take it to a conclusion. This is not going to happen anymore. As parents, we'll make sure that we continue this drive and we'll make this happen.
So what kind of rules are you really looking at? What kind of regulations to help protect your children more?
I would say that school is only a microcosm of the society. If you see society itself, there is no respect for women and children. So I think we of course school, we have seen this coming out in this incident. But I think the regulations, whatever applies to a school, should also apply to the general life, where women and children are given greater protection, and there should not be only talk.
Only a lady teacher should help a small kid, the girl child. The other teacher should not help. The male teacher should not help them. That should be while swimming, like other activities where they need a change of the dress. Even my son's school, I don't think so they have it, which is very important.
So, we are talking about background checks now. Do you think that this is more of a mindset issue in society itself? Because recently there was a minister who had banned cell phones because apparently it caused rape. So, what is your take on such insensitive comments from politicians?
Yeah, you're right. I think that's why I said, I think unless the whole culture of the society changes, we cannot change only the school or school environment. Even in this complex, there are many people who are there, whether their background checks have been done. Background check is a very important point. Definitely, yeah. I agree with him. But it is not the only solution. I think we as a society must, as he said, immediately, if there is a penal action, there should be, then people will be afraid, whether it is a school or a society or on the roads.
As parents, what kind of steps can you take to protect your child? What would you probably suggest to others? See, certain things are out of your control, right? So what kind of steps would you probably suggest?
I think a right kind of knowledge and education is required at the nascent stage, so that they are aware of the events and occurrences happening around them. A regular knowledge right at the onset is going to go a long way, I feel.
Even I have a point here, like as a parents, we want to protect our child, teaching them what is right touch, what is wrong touch. We are seeing a lot of awareness is going on WhatsApp and YouTube. Like after all this also, I am scared to send my kid outside my home. After this incident, I'm scared to send my kid to school also. I have to teach what to teach to my kid, that we don't go with the teacher, don't go near teachers, and you don't go anywhere in the school. No, it's not correct. We have to, as what I feel, stricter law is required. Why these crimes are happening day by day? because our law and order is not strict enough. This is what my concern is as a parent. I am scared after this incident. After teaching all this, what to do, what to not, to my teacher, still I'm scared. Why? Because of I don't believe in law and order in the school, in our country. So I'm really a concerned parents.
I would like to ask a question to the principal that what if your daughter would be in this situation, what would they do at that time? Because just by saying that way, that it's not our concern, we are not responsible, what will happen if this situation falls on them? This is the main part. And secondly, I would say one more thing, that we take teachers as our guru. That's what we teach our children at the same time, that they are our guru. Now, if the gurus only do something like this to the students, then what is going to happen about the future? That is what is more concerned.
So you had something to add?
See, it's about girl abuse or child abuse, right? We want the school management to understand, okay, and be supported by the parents. If there is a concern that raised by parents, please be with us. Understand it's not against the school, it's not against a particular incident. It's about the entire child abuse. We want the management to be with us, support this incident, not just by thinking about protecting the school name. That's what the severe message I want to pass.
So this is, you're asking the teachers and the school to take some action once you do report it and not just brush it aside. So this is again a case of reporting the incident and how sensitive the school is to be able to accept this kind of suggestions. So do you think there needs to be more cells, more teachers, more counselors, so students can go and approach them instead of waiting a week later and tell their parents and this becomes a huge issue?
Yes, definitely. There should be. We are also looking forward for that only, that's something the government does so that in future no kids or no parents suffer and have a lot of issue in such things.
And I feel they should be allowed mobile phones. The children, they can keep it switched off, but when in case of emergency, at least they can call up their parents and inform that something is going wrong. All schools are against providing them, allowing them to get cell phones to school. I feel they should be allowed. In case of emergency, at least they can call up their parents.
Basically, I think we need to extend our conservative thoughts, eliminate our conservative thoughts, open up. We need to make the law stricter for sure. But then removing mobile phones or thinking about different sizes of uniforms, these are not the ways to fix the problem. What we need to do is come up with solutions which will enforce the law, come up with educating the society, the teachers, the principals of the school. Their responsibilities are not to protect their staff. Their responsibility is to ensure that the system works, that the students are protected. That is more important than protecting their staff. I think they've gone beyond limits to protect their staff. So that is where the improvement needs to happen, not a conservative thought that will help in this country today.
Is it possible to have some personal safety device or some small thing, some small gadget which you give it? So when there is a panic button, they press the button. Till the situation improves. Of course, we have to improve the society. But till the society improves, can this be a solution or a short-term solution? And third is, like, what the problem we are discussing is whether the school saying we are not responsible, parents are saying you're responsible. Is there a third immediate party who can quickly decide that yes, this has been a case of negligence? No, this is not a case of negligence. So these are the three solutions which I thought.
So from
the lower classes, where the children are small, the parents should be allowed to frequently visit and freely visit and frequently visit and know what the student, what is happening. And the teachers also should be free. If that is happening, then people can feel a little secure. But the upper classes, children, okay, fine, they know what is happening. They can come home and speak. But these children don't generally speak if something goes wrong. What has happened in this recent case also.
So maybe what he means is an audit committee from parents' side itself, where the school body can nominate some parents who are allowed to come and audit the system for these aspects.
And from a government regulation or policy point of view, what kind of changes would you really like to see being made to enforce these fast mushrooming schools? There are hundreds and hundreds of schools that come in every year. What kind of regulations would you like to see from governments?
I think the regulation, as he had said, one is that there should be a background check of all the staff. Two is that we must create an environment where there is not tu meme, and there should be a joint action committee, because it is in the school's interest also that such incidents don't happen again and again.